Okay. Welcome to Wilder Days podcast.
Where are we today, Catherine?
We are in Joshua Tree, California, in a dry lake bed.
Checking out some mountains.
BLM in it.
BLM in it.
Yeah.
What are we going to talk about today?
So many things that we left.
Yeah. So we did a podcast 2 weeks before, and now we are one day in to our adventure.
It's time out. Should I close that hatch?
No, it's okay.
The wind's not going to register.
We're gonna keep it rolling.
Okay.
It is quite windy out.
It's a windy spot.
But thankfully Scout has us covered.
That's true. We both woke up. We were like, thank God we're not in a pop-up tent because we would not have slept last night.
Not at all. The truck was just moving, but besides that, it was easy. I was in and out. But
yeah.
Still getting used to, I guess, the elements being like, 3 feet away from your head.
Yeah, we're in it. Yeah.
But yeah, how do you feel about yesterday? Well, let's start with Sunday. Sunday we had a bunch of friends come over. We had a going away party, which was fun. How did you enjoy that time?
Oh my God. It was hectic. It was like so much joy. It was like sad at times, you're like hugging people goodbye for like months, maybe a year.
Yeah.
So it's just like every
All
emotion if possible.
Yeah.
But it was I'm so glad that we got to, like, I felt like we squeezed every drop out of leaving. I mean, I was like,
it was really fun
trying to see everybody before we took off. But it's funny because we're gonna go back to LA at some point soon to pick up a truck part. So I'm like,
I mean,
definitely gonna try to grab some people.
Yeah, we left so we have to go back for a few things. Well, just like a couple things, so. And they shouldn't take like super long, but we'll kind of do some rounds and then head back out. And I have no idea when that is because we don't have any dates yet, but we'll see when that happens. But yeah, it was good to see people, and then even new people, like all your parents' friends and stuff. There asking a lot of questions,
new faces, and a lot of the top questions were,
where are you going?
Well, yeah, what's your route, and kind of like why, because there are like big chunks of the country we're not going to see. And then people were also very curious about like, the shower and pooping. So, you know what I mean? Those were the 3 questions. Like, we got some predictions that I don't know what he'd be like, an in-law or something. He was like, I don't think you're gonna make it out of the West Coast. He thought I was gonna give up.
Yeah. All right, we'll see. I
was like, okay, Gilly, challenge accepted.
We that was fun. And then like my mom came out and my brother, and it was a good time.
Yeah.
And then yesterday we packed up a lot of stuff and tried to button up some returns and just all kinds of random stuff. But we thought we were going to actually end up leaving today, which is a Tuesday. But we ended up actually getting out here last night.
Yeah, it's kind of a little anticlimactic in a way because there's so much buildup.
Yeah.
And then we were just like, okay, we got to go to like Petco to get shadow stuff.
Yeah.
It's just life, you're just living life. And I feel I'm happy we're kind of getting our sea legs. with like living in this, like we're in a spot that you have done your cleanups at, that like we've been to a bunch.
Familiar, yeah. That was the one thing that I was kind of originally we were going to go to like Tucson, like way south Arizona, and it was just like too foreign because we both have never really been there. And then we'll probably eventually go. It's just like at first though, we gotta like give me a week or two in a place that I'm familiar with. So if we do need to run and grab something, there's like something close by, and we're not in the middle of nowhere just right off the bat.
Yeah, acclimating a little bit.
I think that, yeah, because I think that would have really set us in a bad mood. You know what I mean? It's like, oh no, we can't do this already. It's like, well, I'm sure that, you know, it's like they just gotta get used to things. Like right now, it's like got messy really quickly. But I think once we get in the groove of things, I don't think it will be like that. Right? Because there's a lot of shuffling.
We're like very bad, as both of us are bad at putting stuff away when we pull it out. And that, I feel like that is like the key to
this lifestyle
sanity in a camper. Because well, I mean, we're also like, we're kind of been chilling inside a little bit this morning, and not fully setting up because it's windy and we're gonna leave, so we don't we're kind of like,
we came up with this like idea of, because the stairs, so we were traveling with the dirt bike, and the dirt bike's on the hitch, which is in the rear, so the stairs don't necessarily work with that setup. So we came up with an idea of like anything over one night, we won't set up the stairs,
the rules.
Because the bike has to come off either way, but then the rack and stuff too is kind of a pain in the butt. But I don't know. I'm sure it will be fine. After, it's like anything else in this thing. It's like after a certain amount of time, I'm sure it'll be easy, quick and easy. But yeah, last night was really windy. We still slept pretty good.
It was great. I actually had a great night's sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We slept in a little bit today because it was an exhausting weekend, I think, you know?
Physically, emotionally, all of it. Yeah. Just a lot.
Yeah, I was up at sunrise and it was cool. It was cool to see the sun come through. Yeah.
Oh.
But I went back to bed, but
I should have woken me up. Wake me up next time.
Yeah.
Like, look at the thatch.
Yeah. I just thought it was cool because, like, thinking like that view will change on a constant, like, you know, weekly or bi-weekly basis, you know?
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah. It is cool. Well, we have a lot of places up ahead. Do you want to talk to? Because that is a question a lot of people have. Like, where are you going?
Yeah, I think like the specific places that we wanted to go were like, for me, Saguaro National Park. I really want to see like just all those cactuses. That'd be so cool. And then White Sands, I think, is not too far off from there. And then our friend Gary lives in Taos, and so depending on the weather, I think that's what one of the factors is weather, right? It's like if it's like 100 degrees, obviously we're not going to go to there. We can go to Flagstaff or something where there's elevation and be a lot cooler. But yeah, the first leg of it is kind of just like Arizona and New Mexico for the most part.
Yeah, totally. So it's like the chasing good weather.
Yeah.
And going to
right now
spots.
It's super nice out in Joshua Tree.
It's great. Yeah.
I mean, it's windy, but it's nice. So, yeah. And then after that, so we have the expo in end of May in Flagstaff. And then I have work before and after the event. And then we won the lottery for the Wave in Arizona.
Yeah, I forgot. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I got some tips for that.
Okay.
So someone was saying to go at sunrise.
Ooh.
And I didn't know this, but they only allow 10 people per day in that area.
Wow.
So he's like, basically, you have the place to yourself.
That's awesome.
Because, like, you have the whole day to, hang out. And the dog is allowed, which is cool.
Wow.
I mean, it just has to be on a leash and stuff. But
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah, me too. But, yeah, I'm excited to check that out. Get some cool photos. I'm really excited to start taking way more, like, landscape photos.
Yeah,
and lifestyle
that's kind
photos.
of your secret passion. Not so secret is the landscape. Not
well,
as
it's
much.
like if you went back on my Instagram, it was like all that travel stuff, pre-vehicle stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to go back to that.
Yeah, it's time.
I'm excited for you to post a photo more than once a year. Hey. If you
Burn.
are, I don't know.
No, I am. I told that was one of the things, because I'm pretty private on. I don't really like to post on social, but with going away, I feel like I have a motivation to do it for the people that I love, because I know that's like an easy way for people to.
Keep track.
Don't always have time to like hop on a call, but if you can like see a post while you're whatever. Waiting in line and on the gram. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's good, because like already your mom's asking for links and stuff, so
oh yeah,
they're gonna expect those things to be updated.
Oh yeah, and like hi Kiki and any aunts and people who are listening.
And we're doing this like I think weekly, right? So
yeah, I think so.
So we have like different ways to keep people updated.
Yeah.
So
the long format and the short format.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it'll be cool. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with not just like taking landscape photos, but like with the YouTube stuff and all that.
That was another big question, is like, are you guys blogging or vlogging, or like what are you chronicling this in a special way?
Yeah. And we definitely should be, but I just haven't like developed that idea yet. We've had so much occupying our time and
trying to leave.
Yeah. It was just like, because this, I mean, like in reality, this like took kind of like 8 months. I mean, that's when we moved out, and then we worked really hard on getting out of debt, and then because I mean, we'll be going into it, with less, I guess, overhead or whatever you want to call it, but then and then just having money for gas if we don't, because we're still working, but if there's something ever came up, we just have some kind of safety net. But
and
then the truck took like 4 months to build, so that was like a full-time job. Still not done. But very close enough to live in it.
Oh yeah, I think it's done. No, I mean
for the camper, yeah.
Okay.
But
yeah, truck stuff.
In my world,
truck stuff.
Where are some of the places that you are excited about?
Ooh, I've always wanted to go to New Mexico. I feel like I'm excited about that. I'm really excited to be going back east in the fall, and I feel like we get to see your family and the leaves change, and that's going to be awesome. Go back to New York City.
Yeah.
And then I'm actually very, very excited about Florida, because we're planning.
That was so funny.
At the end of the year to go to
Key West
and stuff, and my sister-in-law, they're all Cuban, and so we've gotten used to like good Cuban food, and I'm excited to hang out with some Cubans down there.
Yeah, like technically we'll be hitting like the 4 corners of the US. because we'll be hitting Washington, Maine, and then obviously tip of Florida, which I think is like, I pitched this idea, this like Four Corners trip a few years ago.
No way.
Yeah. And now like unintentionally doing it.
Yeah.
So maybe I should look back at those emails and see what kind of work I can drum up.
I was going to say maybe that's like an underpinning for a blog or a vlog, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because we're missing a lot of the Midwest, like northern Midwest area, just because there's not much up there. But also, I've been up there a lot.
Maybe that's
we might be going
way to say it.
We might be going to Detroit.
I would love to go to Detroit
because cousin lives there, and then, but on the way east, we're going through the South, which is like I'm excited about because I've been to every state except for like the Georgia, like Louisiana, or I've been to Louisiana, but like those really southern states.
Yeah.
That will be able to knock those off, and then
go eat some gator.
Yeah.
And start saying, "Hey y'all."
Some catfish.
Catfish gator.
Yeah, I think it'll be cool to officially say that I've been to every lower 48, which will be cool.
And then we gotta get you to Hawaii and Alaska and Puerto Rico. Does Puerto Rico count?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're thinking that maybe Alaska might be next year if we stick to it.
I would love to go.
I mean,
I would love to go to Alaska.
Bound for Nowhere, Mackinac got us hyped on it. So.
Oh my god, and Canada. I really want to go. I really want to cruise Canada. Cool. Yeah.
A lot of people were saying that Newfoundland is really cool, which is the East Coast. Canada, and then obviously Vancouver, which is West Coast. But yeah, there's probably a lot out there. Banff, or I mean, there's probably so many cool things in Canada, anyways. But yeah,
go hunt down Matty Matheson and try one of his burgers or whatever.
Cook me some food.
Yeah,
that would be. I think he has a restaurant too.
Yeah, I think he does up there.
Yeah, so that'd be sick.
That would be fun. Can we talk about planning versus not planning? Because this to me is like a big deal.
Oh yeah, this is the shock of the century.
This is what rocked my world.
Yeah, it did.
And I'm still feeling aftershocks.
You're gonna feel it for some time. This girl loves planning everything and having everything laid out.
So we're driving. So, we've been like kind of like batting around like where the first stop should be. And, we decided to come out here and we're driving out. And I'm like, so what are we doing like tomorrow? He was like, what did you say? You were just like, whatever. I was like,
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not, there's no like, like I don't have an itinerary. I don't have like a daily itinerary of the year.
That's not what I'm asking though. I'm just like, some like underpinnings of like, oh, we're gonna like do the podcast and like run errands or I don't know, just anything. It was like going from this like very intense like scheduled out thing to just free falling into no plans.
Yeah.
And
felt good.
I realized I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be the trip and I feel like one of the things we're probably gonna fight about the most if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Because I'm very uncomfortable with not knowing what happens next. And when I'm just sitting life. Thinking,
yeah,
I'm often thinking,
what's next?
What's next? And I have to like stop myself from asking you because do you remember?
I'm gonna go nuts.
Like 30-40 minutes after we had that conversation, I was like, hey, what about? And then I just stopped. Because I knew, I was like, oh no, he's not gonna want to answer.
Yeah,
he's not gonna have the answer for me. But
I think the biggest differences between or one of the biggest difference between you and I is that I do not live anywhere outside of the now.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
You know, I'm not thinking that far ahead. I'm thinking like, okay, we're going to get to this place in a couple hours and go to bed. That's it.
Yeah. And I'm never in the now.
You're thinking like, what's happening by, in 24 hours
and
or
next
longer,
week. I'm
or.
Yeah, if I have, and so one thing I really want to work on this trip is being more present.
Yeah.
And
I think that's like the biggest part of the trip I think for anyone.
But it's scary because I think it feels like the wheels are going to come off if you don't, figuratively, if you don't have a plan for the next. You know what I mean? It's like, how will things be okay if you don't have a plan?
But the thing is like, question mark.
Do you know what I mean? But
yeah,
that's like
but
a
the thing is
fear-based thing
yeah,
for me. So
yeah, unfortunately, you love living in fear.
Get a pamphlet.
But yeah, let me get a pamphlet for that. That's an inside joke. What's funny is like you could ask my mom. Like, nothing gets planned for me. My whole life is live by the seat of my fucking whatever. So and like it's worked out quite well. Like, I'm happy, and
you are happy, yeah.
So it's like, and I'm doing things that I love, and we're like, this is nothing to me. This is just like, you know what I mean?
Can I ask you, how do you have the courage to know that things are going to be okay if you don't plan it?
Because this is just how it's like, in my head, it's like, it's up to you to create that. And like, you don't need to plan to be successful. You just have to work at it. You know what I mean? Like, or you need to like, yeah, we can plan in a couple weeks where we're going to head, but it's not going to be detailed, because there's always going to be things that offset you from course, and like,
yeah, no, I hear you for sure.
But
I hear that.
I think for a lot of people, it's like, or like the business stuff or whatever, it's like they think it's just going to come to them, but it's not. It's just, you have to really work for it. And for us to, I think, in relation, like, and with the trip, I think that if it's going to be a good trip, it's just good. Like, we're going to be able to be flexible with it. Because I think if it becomes rigid, then it gets stressful.
Not rigid lights. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for
the lights.
Good plug.
That's my job. I like sneaking the plugs.
There's no plugs that are needed for this podcast.
He's like, stop plugging them. They're not paying.
Yeah, I don't know. I always thought it was, there's nothing wrong with like just living life to, day by day. There's definitely negatives to it for sure. But
can you elaborate? What are what have you found to be negative?
I think like the technical stuff, like business, paperwork, and like bank account, like, stuff that like will bite in the butt later. But it takes a while to, I think, do that. That's why you don't see it at first. Definitely like moving around, as when I was younger, wasn't like ideal because I wouldn't have friends for longer than a year, so some of that, I mean, like gym, it's like a stuck, you know what I mean, like there's some stick around,
yeah,
but I think one of the things that my mom like kind of told me when, after like my last like relationship, she's like, it's time for you to be selfish. And I'm like, yeah. And then ever since then, I think that's like one of the, we were talking to my mom, and I was like, I've never been like this way. I was always super shy and quiet, and you know what I mean? Like very like fly on the wall. No one noticed me, that kind of thing. but it's like she's, and like then that's when it turned, and I was started taking the photos, and I went to Iceland, and and like started working for Rebel Aid, and like quit that. My last job was quitting a fucking Mexican food delivery spot, and so it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna go for it. And I think part of being selfish is just living, and doing what you want to do. So I don't know. I think that sometimes I strive for you to do that.
To be more selfish?
Yeah.
But then who will do the dishes?
But that's not what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah, you mean like just
like like we were talking about just having a day of drawing, and you were just like,
oh yeah, can't comprehend.
It's like, well, yeah, you can do that,
Yeah, and I will.
That's what I'm saying.
This
It's just
year
like
is the year.
Yeah, before we've never had you sit for a day and draw, without any other distractions.
Yeah.
So I think these will be things that I'll try to push you for, but it's up to you to do it. I'm not going to make you draw, because if you don't want to draw, then don't draw. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no. Yeah, because I used to paint and draw and do all sorts of things like that.
Yeah.
And haven't done it in earnest in like a really long time.
Yeah. I don't know. And my way of thinking isn't right either. It doesn't. It's just it's worked for me.
I think that's why we work so well too, though, because we balance each other out. Because one person is like looking ahead a little bit, and the other person is like, "Hey,
live a little,
baby."
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think my way is the right way at all. It's just worked. It just worked for me.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know what I mean?
I love that you're happy and that yeah. It's great.
But I also had like direction at younger age of what I wanted to do, which I think is quite rare. Because it's like, I can't imagine being a younger kid and being like, oh, fuck, like there's so many things that I could freaking do. And like not knowing what one of those could be is just like crazy. I just was like, the second I picked up a camera, I knew.
Wow.
I just knew. I don't know how else to explain it. So I don't know. Hopefully you'll find something that you really like to do. That'd be rad. But it might not. But trip might not be that for you, and then we have to come back and do something else.
Oh, who knows? It's funny because as much as I talk about planning, I came into this knowing that things are going to radically shift for me. I just feel that I'm like putting myself in uncomfortable positions to force change.
Yeah.
Because the way things have been are not working. You know what I mean? Like the way I've set up my business, like things are just not working. So I'm willing to risk it and like come out here and see like what new things can emerge.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to be really open about like, I don't know, like opportunities, just meeting people, doing things and seeing what unfolds and not trying to force it, because that's been my MO, is like,
you go with the easy route.
Coming up with the plan and then trying to like force it to happen. And then it's like, well, then you don't allow things to unfold, and it could be something I never thought to plan.
True. But I've always been told like not to force things though. And especially with relationships, like we didn't meet in a forced way. We actually, if anything, we tried to not like fall for each other. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I really did was like very like weary
Wow.
I mean, you know that though.
I know.
And you even felt that way.
Oh, I was like, I don't think this guy's into me at all.
But I was just like,
I couldn't comprehend what was happening.
I was in that mode of like doing me.
And you thought, here's a distraction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it just didn't go that way.
Do you feel like because I was also a creative that I would be more understanding?
I don't know.
Because your last relationship, she was not a creative and was not maybe as she was looking for stability, and you just weren't in that place.
Yeah, but the thing is I was younger, so I mean, like, what? How do you like? How are you? People, I know they get their shit together way earlier, but yeah. I didn't. It's just I didn't have it.
Yeah, well, I also don't have my shit together, so.
But I feel like I now have things kind of figured out in a way.
Yeah, no.
But like even when I met you, I don't think maybe I did a little bit, but I don't know. I mean, it was yeah.
No, you had like you were at Rebel 8. I feel like things were pretty like stable, but you're also getting to do things. It seemed like a really good sweet spot of like
getting paid and then also doing whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know what we were talking about, but
it was planning.
Yeah.
Yeah, planning.
I'm just not a big fan.
I would love to know. Maybe we can like put a post on the Instagram and all 10 people can respond. I just always want to know like what do are people planners for trips and traveling like this? Do other people that are living full time, are they planning?
Yeah.
Like are they more open-ended, or how do they find that like sweet spot? Because like you said, it's unpredictable. Like if you get a flat tire,
then you're stuck somewhere for a minute.
Stuck.
Yeah. I think that will be a mixture of my open-endedness and your planning. I just don't think that like it can be one way or the other. You have two people that you have to consider, not just myself.
No, I know. And I know you're not gonna, I think we'll come up with, like, I'm already thinking like the scarcity of the campgrounds and certain parks and stuff. I'm like, we should try to get certain spots, because if we're going because the weather's good, that means everyone else is going because the weather's nice.
Well, luckily we're staying on public land now, but there's a lot of public land. Like,
oh no, and that'll totally. But like,
once we get out east, I think is when it'll start getting trickier.
Okay.
But west side of the country, even if we wanted to go to Yellowstone, there's still places to stay outside of Yellowstone and then go back in.
Oh, that's true. We did.
So that's like worst case scenario.
Well, I guess that's a question too. Is like, are there parks that you want to deliberately stay in that we need to plan for, or do we?
I mean, Yellowstone's probably the one. Glacier National Park, maybe.
Oh my god!
But the thing is like, when is the question? When can we get there?
Well, there's.
You know what I mean?
There's like a month window in between each expo.
Yeah.
So
we got to try to like really plan it. And then we got your family trying to meet us in Montana. My family trying to meet us in Montana.
It's a family off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my family's got dibs because they.
No. If we need to, we'll split up.
No, I think it's 2 different times, anyways.
Maybe we'll.
But anyways, yeah, I think it's like right now we can't really plan for it, but in like next month maybe, like, you know what I mean? It's just like that's the window of like just knowing a little bit more on when and where we'll be. But there's a lot of free camping out there, so worst case we just. There's also like that there's a website that will do like the last minute reservations. It will like nab it for you. I think it's called Camp Nab.
Wow.
So we have some other resources that we can work with too.
I really want to go. We got to sign up for Harvest Hosts too.
Yeah.
Not sponsored.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of tools out there for people. Like our Planet Fitness thing is just gonna be really big.
Yeah. Well, can I talk about our real first night in the camper?
Yeah, let's finish it off with that.
Okay, this was like a toughie. We were going up north to get the custom bumper.
Oh, when we picked up the camper.
Oh, yeah.
That was on the way back.
Yeah. Okay, you're right.
Yeah, so we drove to Yakima drove to Bend, and then I dropped you off, and then I drove to Yakima and picked up the camper alone.
That's right. Yeah.
And came back. Yeah. But then we went to Descent, and they worked on the truck for a week.
But before we got there, we spent a night the first night in the camper in a Walmart parking lot.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about tonight or last night. Never mind. Okay, gotcha.
No, that was like the real first night.
Yeah.
And
brutal choice.
The camper, because it was brand new. I think they had just built it. Was off-gassing.
Yeah, fiberglass, whatever smell.
And it was just like, I don't even know. I don't know how to tell the story without just sounding like whiny. It was just like crazy. It was off-gassing. There were like people doing burnouts in the Walmart.
It was a 24-hour Walmart.
And then we just there's characters everywhere. Like, you don't want to get out. The lights are like shining. It was just like
the perfect storm.
When you think of like the romance of like traveling across the country, this was like
the opposite.
Like the gritty slap in the face of like, this is what it'll be sometimes. You'll be in a Walmart parking lot. Yeah,
for sure.
And some people will be doing burnouts next to your camper.
I think that was just like, I think it was good that we had that because it can only go up from there.
Yeah.
I mean, that Walmart was like pretty bad, like not nice area, but like it was just like overall, like we should just got a hotel, right?
It's no, it's okay. I think you're right. It was good. I mean, I didn't. Yeah, it's good. It was a good like a good reality check because like talking about planning or not planning, it's like there are gonna be times we're gonna be in the Walmart parking lot.
Yeah, for sure.
And we don't know if it's full of characters or if it's, like a normal.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be.
Lot.
It can't be like perfect all the time.
No,
there's no way.
It's not. It's not gonna be. It's gonna be tough, but worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think that's what I don't remember when I said it, but I was like, "There's definitely not gonna. This is not gonna be like good times every day." You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be long drive days. There's going to be Walmart parking lots and, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think that it's, like, obviously worth it to at least try, right? This is kind of like, doing this for you is kind of like going out of character in a way because would you have done this at all, like, on your own?
No. And I got a lot of comments for the going away thing of them being like, never saw you doing this, don't think you're gonna make it. A lot of stuff, because it's just not. I mean, I went to school, I went to college 40 minutes away from home, and I would go home all the time. I'm just like a real homebody, family, like friend. Like, I'm just not. I'm not you left home early and struck out to like find yourself and your path, and I kind of have just been like, well,
maybe this
stagnant.
Maybe this is your trip. Ooh. At an older age.
What'd you say?
At an older age, not so early.
She old.
No, I think it'll be good. I think it's good to go out of your comfort zone. I mean, even for me, I think this is like, I've never lived on the road. I've been on the road. I've never like had everything I owned in one vehicle, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah. I think it's time for highs and lows.
Oh, forgot about that. Okay, yeah, highs and lows.
All right, what's your high and low? And you can't say going in on the trip, because that's obviously a high.
Oh my God. Yeah, you know what? You're my high.
Oh,
Happy
wow.
anniversary.
Yeah, good choice.
I got there first. You
Yeah,
can't use
I know.
it. No, I love you.
Yeah, we did celebrate our 1-year anniversary on Sunday too. That was the anniversary going away party.
Best decision I've ever made.
Wow.
Getting married to this guy.
Let them know. What about low?
Low. I think learning that there's a no plan at all.
Yeah, that really shook you to your core.
It really did, but we're working through it.
Yeah, I think it's just like something that we'll learn to live with in a way.
Yeah, we'll find the balance. We will. Okay, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously anniversary, but I think it was really cool to see like people on Sunday that like well, particularly like people we didn't know really interested. I thought that was very interesting and cool, and like it's just people being like, that's, you know, like I remember someone saying like it's brave, and then it's like, and like that they wish they did that when they were younger, or like before they had kids and stuff like that. And I'm like, it kind of like gives you a little bit of like, yeah, we gotta really like take a go at it, because I don't want to be that. Not necessarily that it's bad, but like I don't want to have like that regret. You know what I mean? Like I'm not doing it.
Oh yeah, and we've talked about doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I think that people are getting. I mean, it's partially my fault, but getting why we're doing this mixed up with like my work stuff. Like, you know, it's like we're not going to do it, go to Expo and like do all this stuff. That's just a part of it. But the reason why we're doing it is to do it, you know, to give it a try, to see the country and wherever else it might bring us, you know, and to maybe like, yeah, get more work out of things, and like, you know what I mean? And we've been planning it for at least a year, 8 months since we moved into your parents, you know.
But even before that, we talked about it. I mean, it's been
when we had the Ram.
Yeah, and then I was like, let's get a trailer, and you were like, yikes.
Yeah.
To the project and to towing.
Yeah.
Something.
So yeah, I think it was just really cool to talk to people and like, yeah, kind of get a little bit of reassurance that this is something that we should do. And then Lowe's is just like really just dealing with the truck. It's really exhausting. Just like going back and forth on getting stuff done, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is very much a job to get it done, and it's at a certain point it's just not enjoyable anymore. You just want to be done, but it's done, so you know, onwards. So
you know what it reminds me of? How women can have kids and forget how painful it is, because I feel like at the end of every build you're so over it, and then the new build comes and you're all excited again.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
it's just not as painful. But yeah, the fact that we're that'll be another high, is like just the fact that we're here to be able to just use whatever we put together is pretty freaking awesome. You know?
What do you mean
like the truck? Like the fact that we get to actually use it and it's not just sitting in the driveway anymore. Yeah.
Oh, it's getting used.
For sure. So, anyways, thanks for listening. And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.